folks, welcome to Lexi IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we will be looking into today? Armed forces united by uniform, not divided by religion. Why is Delhi High Court telling this? What is the case behind this? We will be discussing in the course of the video. Look at this. Delhi High Court upholds dismissal of Christian officer from army, says keeping religion over superior's command is an act of indiscipline. What exactly happened here? Why are they telling this? Look at this. The Christian Indian Army officer was terminated on the basis of his conduct and its impact on military discipline and unit cohesion, says the Delhi High Court. So what exactly has happened? As usual, I'll tell it to you like a story. You listen to it like a story. So this is the person of interest that we are speaking here. He is a Christian. He belongs to one particular religious belief system. Yes. Now he is in a commanding position. Alright. He also has, as the name states, he is in a commanding position. Right? He has to lead and guide his troops. Not just in the army, or he doesn't have to just lead them into the war, but also the bond between them, the cohesion between them, and he has to lead by example. Right? This is, I'm just telling this what it is supposed to be. Lead by example. Now, his superior officer, okay, yeah, I'm putting like this so it'll be easier to understand, okay. Now, in the army, there is a practice called as weekly religious parades, okay, where they do that in a weekly manner. So, he has called him to come into the inner sanctum sanctorum of the place where they do that, right? Some are Sikhs, Jats, yeah. He has held that out of respect for it, I will not come into the inner sanctorum. And also, his faith, monotheistic faith, does not allow him to come inside this. So, he has directly disobeyed his superior. Understanding? This brought disciplinary actions against him, and after that also it was constantly told to him that he has to change this, he was counseled, etc. But despite that, his was resistance to not go in here, because he strictly upheld his ground, telling no, it is the inner sanctum sanctorum, out of respect I will not come in, and also my faith does not allow me to come inside. This is a clear violation of your military discipline. Look at the words that I'm using. One thing if we have to realize here is, civilian, us commoners, whatever discipline that we follow or the guidelines that we have is not the same thing as military discipline, which is much more stricter. That is known to everyone. One of the things about your military discipline is your respect for superiors, commanding officers, and you have to lead the team. All of those is part and parcel of the job. When you are directly doing this purposefully, you are not doing this over and over the time again, despite constant counseling telling that no, this is not about this is about you trying to motivate your troops, you trying to do things for your troops. Understanding? If you want them to follow you, you tell them you have to march forward and do things, they are ready to risk their lives just based on your words. Then you also have to show them to that in action. Yes, it may not be in your interest, or it may not align with your belief system, but it is what your troops demand. And you are clearly violating that. You are keeping your military below and your religion above. Understanding? So eventually in 2021 he was dismissed. Now he has also held that this is wrong, and also the so-called religious weekly religious parade had only the temple and gurudwara. It did not have a Sarva Dharma place, and it is also not called as a Sarva Dharma parade, but rather it is called as weekly religious parade. This is not good for people from all the other faith to follow and all. He is held. Now look at this. We will furthermore get into the details. So this particular person of it is that we are speaking has abstained from attending a puja held as a part of regimental parade. Okay, where constantly he has been showcased and told that commanding officers are to lead by example, placing unit cohesion above individual religious preferences. See, for the normal civilian rules are very different from what comes with respect to your military rules, military bonding. Because you, for us, see, now assume like, yes, you are a team lead, so you have to care about your team. Yes, so there are certain things where the team lead is supposed to do for his teammates because they follow what you tell. But here in this case, it is for you are fighting for the country. The lives are in your hand, the lives matter. So when it is of such high nature, right? So you have to participate in things that will be about unit cohesion. That is, you have to build a commonality among you guys and not be further dividing. Yes or no? So this was the thing that happened. The person that we are speaking is Samuel Kamaleson. Okay, he was commissioned into Indian Army on March 11, 2017. He was posted as a lieutenant in the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, which comprises of 3 squadrons, Sikh, Jat and Rajput personnel. He was made the troop leader of the Squadron B, which comprises of the Sikh personnel. His claims were, he has, that is Samuel Kamaleson has held that the regiment maintained only a mandir and a gurudwara for its religious needs and parades, and not a Sarva Dharma Sthal, which is for an all religion site. And also it is called in not as Sarva Dharma parade, but as your weekly religious parade. So the weekly religious parade, as it is a part of what they do, right? He wants that to be, it is not called a Sarva Dharma Sthal, but rather it is called as Mandir Gurudwara Parade. And this is where he tells that I will not participate it because I am not part of this. The question here comes is, it is not whether you are part of this, it is not whether it is part of your religious belief, it is a form of bonding. And also when your commander tells you something, you have to follow that. This is going directly against the military discipline which you knew and signed up for. And especially you coming into the commanding position will require you to follow some rules and also lead according to the needs of your team. When you cannot do that, understanding, then you cannot continue in this position. So the center has, when the dismissal happened, the center has also held that he had kept religion above a lawful command from a superior was clearly an act of discipline. The same was also upheld by a Delhi High Court, which also stated the same thing. You kept your religion above a lawful command, which means something that is coming in a chain of duty. Your superior told that to you. You have constantly made sure you will not obey that. Why? Because you kept your religion above the lawful command, which is clearly an act of an indiscipline. Understanding? So he refused the regiment commandant's instruction According to Samuel Tomlinson, he also has held that this triggered extreme disciplinary action on him, which also was met with his ACR reports, that is his annual confidential report for 2017 and 2018, contained adverse remarks over his religious beliefs. Once the commandant changed, his ACR improved. Eventually, he was dismissed in 2021. Now, what he has petitioned is that he has asked that he has to be reinstated into the army. Now, the thing that comes into question is your Delhi High Court has taken the same stand as your military. What is it? He has failed to attend regimental parades. The center has also told the same thing. What is that? He has failed to attend the regimental parades despite multiple attempts by the commandant and other officers to explain the importance of regimentation. Look at this, regimentation. This is a very important thing, especially when you are in army. That is the one that builds a cohesion. That is the one that builds a bond. And you being in a commanding position, you have to make sure you build that with your troops. And this is essential professional responsibility and military duty, and not any religious obligations. You having to enter there is not about your religion or your religion telling whether you should do this or not. It is about the fact that you are in that position of commanding and your troops require that, and you have to do that even if it is against that. See, you cannot tell that how it can be done. It is a compulsion. This is what the military ka discipline is. Military ka rules is separate from our civilian rules. And this is not forced upon anyone. This is non-thing. When they enter, they sign up for this, right? When I say sign up for this, I mean that the your end goal, or now let's say your profession is different from what the commoners or common people guys. Your need from the profession is also very different. Now here when we say professional responsibility itself differs for a soldier compared to a civilian. Yes or no? So when you are bound by that, and when it is an essential professional responsibility and military duty, you cannot keep up your religious obligation over these things. Understanding? So when your center has stated this, your Delhi High Court also has agreed upon the same thing. They have even gone ahead and stated that your troops derive motivation, pride, and generate their war cry from devotional practices to a deity. Okay, it is not about, yes, that person ka deity is someone, my deity is. No, no, that is not about that. Here, look at the word you're using, war cry. Understanding? From a devotional practice to a deity, and where an officer distances himself from these practices, it adversely affects. Let's assume it is a war cry. All your troops are telling that, and your troop leader, that is your commander, is not even present there and he doesn't even want to be a part of that. How will it look for the troops? When an officer distances himself from these practices, it adversely affects the morale of the troops, undermining regimentation, cohesion, and unity during combat. So, this is much more than individual preferences. This is above our individual preferences. So, this job requires this amount as its professional demand and necessity. The bench comprises of Justices Naveen Chawla and Shalinder Kaur, who have again stated that, see, the same things that we discussed. The person is at a commanding position to his troops. That requires him to be a participant of these activities, whether he likes it or not, whether his personal belief system allows it or not. It is more than that. It is about your regimentation. Means it becomes your regiment, becomes a family. You are your commander. Position pay. You will be the one who will look into and make sure that the morality is high. You will make sure that the cohesion of the troops are higher, and when you distance yourself from this, it is like you are failing that duty, and you clearly violating your commandant ka position means that you are not following the military discipline, right? So his dismissal was upheld. Then again, further, when it was seen that whether he should be court martialed, the military had taken the stance that no, we will not court martial him before his dismissal, and your Delhi High Court has also observed the same thing. Taken the sensitive matter and delicate issues at hand here, it is better that we agree with the court, that is with your military, for agreeing for the dismissal and not court martialed, because again it would create unnecessary controversies. Okay, so it has still upheld the army's decision to not conduct a court martial before his dismissal from the service, and also it has upheld the dismissal even though the petitioner has asked for him to be reinstated in the army. Understanding? With this, we come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.